Hello everybody, I'm Robert with Cycle Blogs, and I'm going to start my Garmin on my watch here, and get ready to go. It was just raining really hard. Wow, what a lucky thing it stopped raining. I've got my rain bag on my phone here, so I guess that I got my seat cover on. I guess it'll start raining again. It was raining really heavy. I just made this video. It stopped. Well, that's great. I'm not gonna complain. But if it was raining, you know, I'm wearing my blue XC90 shoes. These are great shoes, except for my cleats coming off. And one of the reasons why they're great is, number one, they're stiff and they're great to ride in. I think they fit my feet really good at 44. My other shoes I wear a little bit bigger, but also they dry really quick in weather that's wet. They're good for fast drying shoes compared to the other shoes I got that are leather based and they dry very slowly and stuff. But if it's gonna rain, you know, let it rain. The wetter the better, right? Like that Mosh song, or that In a Mim song, right? I put some new desiccant in my camera. I bought the desiccant pack, so hopefully, I see a lot of Chinese people, they don't want to go in the rain. Hopefully there will not be any fogging issues with the camera this time, since I changed the desiccant in there. We'll see how good it works. I still need to adjust my derailleur. Seems a little bit rough on the top end, right? I've got to figure out how to do that better myself. I haven't talked to Artie for a long time. Artie, you out there, man? You know, shifting to my big gear with my thumb is like so much force, you know? Actually, when I'm pulling the trailer and I have to do a lot of shifting for hours, it's enough force that actually hurts my thumb, right? And I shift a lot. Something I thought was rubbing, it's not me. One thing about these LX hubs is they're much quieter than my loud Hope hubs on the other ones. You know, I really like my Hope hubs on the other wheel set that I got. I just couldn't get a 36 spoke Hope hub, and probably would have been out of my price range right now. So I've got the 32 spoke on the other one. They're just so loud, and bearings are bulletproof, you know. Who knows, maybe in the future I'll be lucky enough to change this hub out with the roll-off, huh? That's a long distant dream, maybe. Who knows? That's for years to come. You know, I rode today 15 minutes faster than I did the other time I came. I'm at a milestone, 70 kilograms right now. It's been a long time since I was 70 kilograms. I always remember when I was 20 something and 72 kilograms, my German wife told me I was a fat pig. And she was right. I was out of shape, too much good beer and good food. But I'm gonna go down to 65 kilograms. I've been eating 6 boiled eggs a day. Sometimes more, sometimes less. On average 6. And popcorn when I'm home. And I'm talking about air pop popcorn without butter Often I put wasabi and soy sauce on it, and for my main meal, I mean, that's my meal pretty much. I have oatmeal when I can. It's not ideal to lose weight like that. I would eat a little bit, but not a lot. No breads. Stop colas. Only diet colas. Hey, Shapunga. Only diet colas. And yeah, I could go other ways that are faster, but I'm gonna go this way because when I used to live over here, near here, and when I lived over here, it was my second house, my first house. If you go right down this street, you go by my old house that I lived at for some years. You go right down this street and go across. It's near where I first lived in Guangzhou with Huang when we came out from Guangxi. And when I first came to Guangzhou, man, I was so lost, man. It took me a couple years to have a bike. I never had a bike at that address over there. Or maybe I did. I think I bought it right after I moved her. And I used to actually have rollerblades, and I would rollerblade across the city. That was a long time ago, man. Time goes so fast. You wouldn't believe it. So I go this way here. I knew this way very well. Even though we moved, we'd still go shopping at the same store. Back then we took a taxi. And it was just me, Huang, and Kualtakwa. And then Bobby was born. And so that hospital is where Bobby was born at. That hospital right over there. It was a terrible experience. But welcome Bobby into the world. I love him so much. So what are we doing today? I just finished the third day of a 16-day camp. I got another week or so in August to this camp, another 16 days. And I need to get work in between. My plan is to ride every day to camps, and I should complement my weight loss with exercise and lose some more weight. I noticed when I came here today how rigid. Now, they definitely don't spin as fast as my other tires. but I could feel that I'm lighter on the bike, and I could feel the increased rigidity. And I could really suggest everybody out there, if you're riding 700C or 29-inch, I can really recommend these TK 540 36 holes. It's just like riding on railroad tracks. And when you put these tires on, the same tires that I have on these wheel set, on the Mavic downhill mountain bike wheel set I have, it's a little bit wider, but at 32 spokes, I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. It feels like a tire, and when you put that heavy tire on that rim and you pump it up to like 5 or 6 bar, then you can really feel, in my opinion, especially with the heavy tire, you feel more flex. It seems like flex in the wheel set to me, I don't know. With this wheel set, aside from missing my favorite click, the free hub, whatever, this is great. It's like riding on wet rails, you know, and that kind of counteracts the heavy weight negativity of the wheels, you know. And yeah, so since the university schedule's finished and I don't have to be at the university, wow, no rain, huh? I don't have to be at the university. This is an old military area over here. They took a lot of houses, were really nice from the 20s and 100 years ago, and the military took control of them, and they put up these huge fences. And I forgot the name of this district, but this is very rich military government area. I've taught in some of the schools over here many years ago. Your children don't get in these schools unless you're really connected. And if you go back over in that area to the right, they've got a lot of the old houses, and a lot of the old architecture in Guangzhou has been torn down. And unfortunately, there's a big wall here. But I think I love old architecture from, you know, Victorian area and stuff like that. And I love to see I love to go visit these houses whenever I can. Tight fit, huh? So, unfortunately today I don't have time to ride around freely. Like I ever have time to do that, right? So I like these old neighborhoods, and if you go to like the Colonial Corner in Shanghai, you can see it, but a lot of this architecture during the revolution and stuff, it got occupied. The owners fled to Hong Kong or Taiwan. They got kicked out, and they left their houses, and their houses were in complete disarray. You know, I've taught on the famous place called Xiamen Island, in the Xiamen Island schools, and these houses would be protected in other cities as heritage places. They were run down and they weren't appreciated. Like, look over here behind there, behind this wall, you could see some old houses, and who knows where the original owners are. They've been displaced, right? Went to the government people, and they built massive walls in front of their complexes. And then the post-revolution architecture was nothing as classical as that, nothing that I enjoyed like that stuff there. Like here's a military college or something right here. So this whole area is kind of the hookah. I mean, they used to control where the people live. They still do, but not as great extent. But your children couldn't go to school if they didn't have a hookah, or if your family registration wasn't in this area. It was all very, you had to use Guangzhou and connections to do anything. So up here on the left, you go down this alley, on the left is where I first moved to Guangzhou, and I first lived teaching at a school here with my wife Wong. Yeah, that was an experience 100 years ago, right? They didn't have the subway line up here, what they do right now. That was built later. There was about 12 foreigners living in there. It was one of the few times I lived on a school's campus. All right, I don't do that often. Near here. It was actually an expensive area to live. And that's when, I mean, we did move to another place in Guangzhou before we eventually moved to the outskirts where it's more affordable. But yeah, I've been getting some more sleep lately, like copious amounts of sleep, like 8 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours. And when you sleep like 9 hours, that makes you feel like, I feel guilty. You wanna go this way, or we'll go this way here? Used to sit out, so we live across the street behind me. There used to be a little shop here that sold beers, and me and all the other foreigners would grab a beer after work and sit there and drink a beer on the street. And a long time ago when I drank beer, right? And yeah, all these, there's an old foreigner who used to go to a massage here, and not me, I didn't do that stuff, right? So anyways, I began sleep, and I began so much sleep. Last night I didn't get that much sleep, unfortunately. But everything's closed here. Sign of the times. It's all shut down. It used to be all open, right? I tell you, everything in Guangzhou is like that. China's got some bad stuff happening, man. A lot of people losing their jobs. But yeah, sleeping and being able to sleep long enough to have some solid REM and get some dreams, and it's real surreal. It really gives my brain some rest. It makes me realize how hard I've been pushing myself these last months. Even last night I didn't get so much sleep after having some real good solid sleep for 3 or 4 days. The first time in months. It's really something else. I gotta be harder though. I can't soften up. So I don't want to enjoy that luxury too much. But wow, it sure does benefit the body and the mind to get some full solid sleep. Makes me realize how much my brain has been running on empty. But you know, you got to do what you got to do, right? And those spinners from Cascadia, spinners work really good. A little bit sick. My wife likes to put these huge fans on me when I'm sleeping to get rid of mosquitoes, because there's tons of mosquitoes at night, and we burn mosquito coils, and she likes the fans. I I get sick when I have fans on, so I'm a little bit sick. Getting better though. It's almost cleared up. So what have I been doing lately? On this slow march to America, yesterday I spent a large amount of my time researching the closest cities to the Gigafactory, and I found out there's like Stagecoach, Fernley, Sparks, Reno, other couple little ones I can't remember at the top of my head. I've gotten written down in my computer. Some are 18 miles, 19 miles to 20 miles, so it's about 30 to 38 kilometers away, which is really what I'm conditioned for. I often go on 31-kilometer rides, so I'm trying to strategize about the whole thing. I was trying to figure out where we're gonna live, how we're gonna do it. Get everything in motion. Some of these small places, I tried to get a list of all the homeless shelters and all the places that give out help. I try to watch YouTube videos about the homeless news and what's going on with that. I'm always reading the homeless forum. And I guess in Reno, in that area, the cost of housing, I looked at the average rent prices for like 4 or 5 of those cities, all in pretty close proximity to each other. I researched the cost of housing, and in Reno, you see that there's no affordable housing. They had a recession, and now the recession's over, and they didn't build any extra houses. There's no houses available in the $200,000 range. What everybody needs. Rent is skyrocketing, and there's no places to rent. You have a lot of homeless people sleeping on the Tusky River, and it's a problem for the city. They try to get them help, I guess. I hear two sides. Some people say they don't want help. Other people say the shelters are full. So what I need to do there, I got a list of all the agencies that help I'm gonna have to call each one. Some people say there's long waiting lists. I'm gonna call each one. I've been doing my taxes. Got that taken care of. I guess that because I made less than $13,000 or $14,000 a year as the head of the household, I guess I've been told by lawyers that I don't have to file for tax returns because I made below the amount required. And I have a list of all the taxes that were paid in my name and my income to the Chinese government. But I was told if I do file, they have something called child credits, and they might give me a tax refund, even though I don't owe any money, because I just didn't make enough American money to have to file, which is a surprise, right? But I still, if I file, I might actually get tax returns, because I guess you get some kind of tax credit if you have children, right? So I don't know, right? Some people say I actually will get money or something. So I might just file anyways, and they have a streamlined process. Like for expats like me, the IRS has a special law that if you're not willful, like I didn't try to hide my taxes. I didn't know. I guess this is really common with expats. So they have a special law to help expats to get current, called streamlining. And I don't have a bank account that had more than 10,000 US dollars in it ever. None of my foreign accounts ever combined had more than 10,000 US dollars. So I don't have to file what's called an F-bar. So, however, if it helps my kids to get a tax return, then maybe I'll just go ahead and do that anyways and see what kind of return I get for them. I don't know, you know, I'm not really trying to look for money from the government. I took care of my kids myself since they were born. I never had money from any government, right? But if it helps them where we're going, maybe I'll look into that. But I don't like the idea of just trying to say, hey, I've got kids, give me some money, right? I never did that before. Never even thought about doing that before. In China, they told me I could have got money from my kids and my wife, but I just felt like there's so many real poor people that really need that help that I never took money from the government or something here, you know. And so it makes me feel really bad that I have to go back and go back like this, you know. I mean, if they let my wife come into China or come in the US with me, I definitely would stay here and go back when we have savings for our own rent, and I could apply for my job before I go back. And well, it'd be 100% different than the way I have to go back now. So that's going to be a major topic until I get there. You know, I have to get in shape better. I'm getting there. I have to find out about these homeless shelters. I hear about people getting stabbed and shot and jumped, and I see a lot of homeless people, like, and I see there's a huge kind of drug problem. I'm not saying everybody's homeless is on drugs, but I see a lot of addicts, and a lot of the homeless shelters and the family shelters are only for women. It's not really for men that have single fathers, so that's kind of strange. It's kind of sexist, but that's their prerogative, I guess. I don't know why a woman with children needs more help than a man with children. But so I got looked around. I tried to get a list of those shelters, and yeah, I mean, it just seems like, and I also like a lot of these places, they're all like treatment centers, you know, and it's just really awkward to go back and to not be an addict and to be a teacher and to be, you know, I've worked really, really hard. I'm not rich by Western standards, but I've done lots of programming, like created a self-learning management system. I've done research and work for 20 years. I'm like, I'm not a junkie, you know what I mean? And it sucks. It's like this man-made creative, I have to be homeless or I face a danger that I can't get my wife into the US. And the way things are changing, I got to do everything I can to get back, to get into their graces, to make what it takes to be called a sponsor and to meet their American requirements of being worthy to have my wife enter the country. I got to do this. But it's, I mean, I'm not, you guys see my blog, so I'm not like those homeless people you see. And you know, and I don't want to say it like there's something wrong with these people. I'm not looking down on anybody, you know. I don't mean it like that, how it sounds when I say it. I mean it like I don't, like I'm, you know, I stopped drinking, but it wasn't like I was an alcoholic like these guys without teeth, and I don't have any interest in drugs or anything like that, you know. I'm like, I'm pretty clean, you know. I'm afraid I go to the homeless shelter, they're gonna tell me I'm lying, maybe. But I'm really gonna go there, and it's gonna, I hope I can make the money. And it's kind of gonna be tough here because in China, they pay you on the 15th. So if I don't get that money by September 15th, and I work till the middle of September, that means they might not pay me till October 15th. And I'd have to pay just to stay living here when I'm trying to save money to go to the US. And it's a tough situation. It's a really tough situation. So I hope I could get the money. I hope I could get the kids the clothes that they need. I hope I could raise enough money for a public storage bin and PO box. If you're listening and you have the ability to contribute to PayPal or our Patreon, that's great. Yeah, I see those jobs at Tesla every day. I feel confident. And with them opening the Shanghai Tesla, who knows? Maybe my Chinese experience will somehow be relevant, you know? I don't know. So, looked at airlines. Fly to Reno from China. It's cheaper than flying to Las Vegas. I guess Reno is closer, about 450 miles closer to China than Vegas is, number one. So it looks like it's going to cost about $2,300 for me and my kids to fly there. I don't have that money right now. Right now I have 2,000. That's dollars. That's about 15,000 RMB or something. Right now I have about 2,300 yen to our name. And so I'm trying to raise about 35,000 RMB to 40,000 RMB to get back. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I mean, it's gonna do it with work, right? I'm gonna do everything I can to make this happen. And get my ridgid off here. So we got the flight. I found out that as long as you have as long as you have children, strollers are free. Woohoo! So that means my big bike trailer, my Burley, that is the kid's stroller, is checked for luggage free, and it doesn't count as your luggage space. My bicycle is going to cost $150 to ship. Looks like we're flying United Airlines out. If I could get the money. I'll have to get a box and wrap it up, I guess. My midget trailer will take off the wheels and disassemble it. And it should be self-contained. I hope it's underneath the weight amount. I'll take 4 laptops on the plane as carry-on in my backpack. And the children's all could bring a carry-on bag and a personal bag. So we'll take advantage of that. 4 kids, 4 tickets, that's 4 carry-on bags. So you're allowed 2 baggages, 2 bags. I think 50 pounds each. And they're free on trans-Pacific flights. So I'll try to get the 2 bags and put the sleeping bags in there. And some kind of cheap suitcases that I pretty much have to throw away when I get to Reno, because I won't be able to transport them on the bike. The airport travel packing will be different than the packing we do to get from the airport. I don't think I'm going to be able to bring my other wheel set. I'll probably have to ship that. I mean, it's just costs a lot of money. That other wheel set's good for commuting, you know? If I have to choose one, oh no, a kitty. Oh no, a cat in the rain. Oh, why does this have to happen to me? I find more kittens on the side of the road. Meow. Oh my, poor kitty. Oh, this is what God put me here for. I've got some space in my bag here. Last time I put a cat in my bag that I rescued, it died. I don't think this one's been hit. Shit. Pretty hard there and cold. Let me take my shirt off. My shirt's a little bit wet, but maybe it's better than nothing. I'm pretty fat. You guys will see me take my shirt off, right? I'm even 70 kilos, I'm still fat. Hold on a second here. I wanted to take my shirt off and get a tan when the sun was out. Now that I'm losing weight, it's good vitamins. But if I have to do it in the rain, well, it's just like a swim workout, you know? No big deal. This poor kitty, huh? Full of worms, and I'm out of money that much. I don't got the money to do this. Kitty, 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 kitty. Oh my! Full of worms, huh? Whoa, God! I don't know what else to do here. Call me stupid, I know. Here we go. And this is how we do it. I'm gonna try not to kill it. These are actually the bags of death. I have killed animals in these. I'm not going to tighten it down. I'll leave it like that maybe. Just got my computer in there. Shit, man. I'm not trying to be the cat. There's enough air in there. Alright, I'm trying not to kill animals, okay? I don't put them in there to die. I have no idea what the fuck I'm gonna do with another cat now that I'm getting ready to go. Sometimes life chooses you, right? Alright, so oh, I hope that water don't get in my bag. Kind of defeats the whole waterproofing, huh? That's alright. If it rains, let it rain. Yeah, the wetter, the better. It's that Eminem song, right? Mosh. I don't even know Eminem that well. I just saw the Mosh video. Pretty catchy tune. So, I hope that I have enough energy after the flight to ride to the public shelter, public storage, and store our gear. Then get to the public shelter and ask for help like a poor homeless person that I will be. And my wife, psychology is not doing that great since all this work has me busier than I normally am. You know, and she doesn't do very good when I don't give her as much attention, and my kids don't either, you know. So I look at the cat. Seems okay. Terrible stuff on the loshi though. I always like to never stop, you know? But you know, I feel so bad. It's hard on the boys, and it's hard on their mom. It's hard on everybody, really, to not be able to stay together. But I guess you guys know that real well, right? Well, I'm afraid too much water is going to get my bag here. Yeah, just scrape it over. I don't want to suffocate the cat. Shit. My chain came off. Son of a bitch. If I had a rolhoff, Probably don't stop on the hill. I'm gonna get my chain back on here real quick. Not supposed to change gears. You're shifting, right? Can't tell when you got a lot of cars behind you. Ah, oh, it's okay, no big deal. No big deal, man. Just like swimming. You know? I hope the discipline is working in the camera, okay? I understand a lot of places don't get enough rain right now. But now, I got to tell you guys, oh, they got an electric bike. That's cheating. I got to tell you that they got this program on the phone with the yellow fish, and I love it. I get so many good deals from factory backdoor specials. And I'm going to tell you about all of them. I hate to sound materialistic, but you know, I like that brand Endura. If you go to CRC, there's a Scottish company that makes cycling clothes, and it's called Endura. And a long time ago, I got 2 shorts from Endura. I got 2 pairs of, they're called Humvee shorts, and they're pretty cool. And I got like a Bermuda style, longer cut kind, and I got a short black kind. And man, these are the only shorts I wear. I got some others, but I really wear these all the time. And when I got them a long time ago from England, man, it cost a lot of money. I had to ask my friend to help me buy them with his credit card, and I still use them. They're great, but you know, I can't get them. But then let me tell you about the Yellowfish program. The Yellowfish program is so awesome because I can search and I can find Endura clothes from the factory. And these jackets that would cost more than 1,000 yen in Chinese money, if I buy them from England, they only cost like 200 yen here, right? So it's fantastic, the deals that you get. Let me check on this animal back here, on my passenger. Now, I should just let it out here in the rain, huh? Well, it's not moving. Seems like it's still alive. Score 1 for living organisms. Woo! Life. On this final frontier, we seek it out wherever it can be. On the steel horse I ride. USS Steel Horse. I am the Steel Horseman. covered Wagoneer. It's okay. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Da 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 da. Maybe I get some sun on my farm tan I got going on, huh? It's okay. So anyways, like this jacket, I got a wind jacket, like a jacket you put stuff underneath it. And great deal. And I got a jersey, the black jersey, you might see me wearing it. I got that for like 40 yen. It costs 700 yen if I get it from England. And it's not fake. It's from the factory that makes Endura, makes craft. Now I couldn't buy it in large quantities that I could export it or something. Often on this yellow fish program, they might only have one or two, but Chinese people in this economy, they don't know that brand, because Trump is right. They don't sell foreign goods in the Chinese marketplace. It's so controlled. You could check out my earlier videos about that topic, about the upcoming localized production revolution. So the people here in the factory, they have a hard time selling these things. What I love to buy for myself, because all the other bike ninjas and people in China, they're not like me. They don't have any brand recognition of their brand, so these guys are just trying to give it away almost, you know, like my Shimano shoes I got for 200 yen. They would cost 1,700 yen if I bought them from England. And alright, so I didn't get any short. I need to get some shorts, but not everything. Like, they don't have the shorts that I bought. I always keep an eye out. It's always changing their inventory. So when you go to the bathroom or you're free, you gotta look. And later on, I gotta have to find my children's clothes like that. I'm trying. I'll do that. I mean, I'm talking about getting stuff 90% cheaper, you know? For all the people that wonder how I do it, I know I'm not gonna be able to do that in America, but when you're buying shorts you could wear every day for 6 years, 10 years, 15 years, that's how I shop, you know? That's how I plan. I like to buy some clothes that I can wear till I'm 60. That's the plan. And so anyways, I got recently, you know, I have a problem with DVT. That's blood clots, right? And gout. And I'm happy I'm losing weight. I'm about 155 now. I know 70 kilograms. I need to lose 5 more kilos, and I will. But and when that's good too, because I can't go to America and have a big appetite, because there's not going to be any money for food, and I'm never going to be able to feed my kids as good in America like I do in China. So before we go, we're tapering off on how good we eat. I'm not buying them snacks very much anymore. I'm not buying drinks or other things, because I know in America that everybody's so poor and homeless, and I'm gonna be homeless, so I gotta stop using money because it's just not something you could do in America, you know? And so it'll be good to be thinner. My body will be used to the lower calorie consumption. And I'm trying to get my children so they're used to that too. But I don't want to cut down their calorie intake so much. So I'm going to try to control their healthy calorie intake and cut out on the junk calories, you know what I mean? So anyways, all right, so I got this deep, like this blood clots. Like a lot of you guys don't know, like, why did I had a bike, it was stolen, and I stopped riding. And when I stopped riding, I got blood clots. And I was like 67 kilograms when Apollo was born and Solaris was born. Oh, I was in much better shape than I am right now. I lost weight from not eating right now a little bit, but then I lost weight from hard exercise. I was much more fit when I was working as hard as I could when the children were born to pay the bills. You know, and I feel like I'm not that hardcore what I need to be to get this kind of money. So I'm gonna go home and do these lesson plans for Solaris and Apollo and Bobby, and this will be the last time I print for them before we go to America. And then starting next week, I'm just gonna bust my ass every single kind of job I can get here or there and try to raise that money. But so the plan is, well, anyways, I was telling you, so I stopped riding my bike, and I got a blood clot in my leg, and it was real bad. Doctor said I need to be on blood thinner the rest of my life, and I said fuck that. I immediately, because I lost weight, I gained weight to about 78 kilos after my bike was stolen. I gained about 10 kilos because I have hypothyroid. And not that I was eating more, I just stopped being active, and my body needs me to be active. So they told me I got blood clots and they want to have a lot of money, do an operation and give me blood thinners. Instead of following their advice, I immediately went out, spent a lot of money, and started swimming. I tried to do up to 5,000 meters a day. But you know, that takes time. It takes a lot of time to do that. And I didn't have the time. I mean, it took a lot of extra money, a lot of extra time out of my day. I love swimming, but I just couldn't take that time away from my family. So I built this bike, what I'm riding right now. But I still have problems with my health and arthritis, and so I don't know, I know it sounds stupid, but something like socks, I have a tough time finding socks. They'd be too tight on my feet, and my feet would swell, and it was terrible. You know, and I grew up, when I was like 19 to 28 or 29, I would wear jungle boots, especially when I lived in Europe. I had my original jungle boots from being a soldier. I wore them to death. And oh, let me go. Let my people free. I wore them to death, and they're terrible for your feet actually. And then I wore PLA shoes here, the Chinese Army shoes, because they're basically like bare feet shoes, like no soles. And I just really didn't care for my feet. And I guess my grandmother has arthritis that runs on her side of the family. Rest her soul. And I don't know, now that I'm older, I started getting gout arthritis, and it's not about if I drank or ate. I just would get it, you know? And like I had it last week or two, pretty bad. 4 days ago I had it. Right now, thank God I don't. Thank God. Maybe it's a long sleep I had, I don't know. Anyways, getting back to socks. Endura, they make these socks that cost like 14 pounds for a pack, and that's like 200 yen or 300 yen, so I don't know what it is here. It's crazy. But I saw them online on the Yellow Fish program. They call it Huayu, Chinese. And Huanzi the Yu, I don't know what the fuck the name is, sorry. And I saw them for 30 yen. So I bought a pair, and they arrived yesterday. And man, they're made from this Coolmax stuff. And like my feet are soaking wet, but I guess they'll dry good. They're not too tight. They're like stretchy. And I'll tell you what, like, when my feet get swollen, I take my socks off, I've got like a huge indentation in my legs where the socks restrict the blood flow, which is dangerous for DVT and for arthritis. It's bad. So these socks are like heaven. I just went out and bought 4 more pairs, so I have 5 pairs together. I don't want to overdo it, but man, I was walking, I went to the summer camp last couple days ago when I didn't ride my bike. I didn't ride my bike because I had a nightmare about leaving my wife. It made me so emotional that I was late to leave my house, so I had to take the subway because my heart was broken and my dream that I was alone in America without my wife. So that's pretty fucked up, huh? So after that job, I got called to do another job at a building I used to work at so long ago. And there's a good deal of walking. It's like a good 2 kilometer walk, maybe 3 kilometer walk. And I had to do it when I was younger. I didn't have gout that bad. And I had to do it the other day in my Tesla work shoes, because I'm wearing the Tesla work boots, the Timberland Pros, so I could get used to being able to walk around the huge gigafactory if I need to, if I'm a production line worker. So I'm walking to this job, and man, my feet were killing me. And the only thing I could tell myself was, wait a second, man. You gotta take care of your boys. You gotta go get a job. You gotta do that job better than anybody. You gotta be 12 hours on your feet with a smile and a skip in your step. Can't let no arthritic pain bring you down. So I I went home and I tried to shove 2 pairs of insoles into my work boots, but they didn't fit because, you know, I got some fake work insoles and they didn't work very good. So it's pretty tough, but I know I'm gonna get stronger before I go. Now that I'm riding again, and maybe when I get down to 140 pounds and I get in lean condition, my body will be more efficient and it won't have to, my liver won't have to clean out so much mass, body mass, and it could be more efficiently cleaning out the acid in the blood, which causes gout. Uric acid, that's what gouty arthritis is a buildup of uric acid crystals. So my logic is, it not only is nice to be skinny for clothes and to look like you have more energy, but also my theory is that it's easier on your liver and all the parts of your body that have to process uric acid. So anyways, I was working on editing this neurological report for a PhD student that was trying to create a deep learning brain segmentation program for MRIs and radiologists and neurologists, because doing it by hand is pretty tedious. So they wrote a 6,800 word report on a system that they created to combine different level scans of the radiology machine and combine the features from each level to build a database, a test database, a benchmarking database, and how that's more efficient. So I'm doing this, it took me about 3 days. It was pretty hard to do. I mean, it's just pretty, it was great for my autism. I do that, it's just like making websites, man, I'll tell you what. But I couldn't do it in my house because I had to focus. So I went to Starbucks and I actually had, I wore my Elon Musk shoes, as I call my work boots. I had to wear my Elon Musk boots, and I tried to take my socks off from my arthritis so my feet didn't swell up and it wouldn't hurt. And I don't like to wear shoes without socks. So, and especially when I put those insoles from my work boots into my black bike shoes that are a little bit larger than what I wear. You know, normally I don't wear, I had some different insoles in my black bike shoes, but I tried my Timberland Pro because they were so comfortable, I thought. But then in the other day's rain, they got wet. So it's not good to wear wet shoes from the street water with no socks on. So I got these Endura socks and I put them on and I thought, oh my God, it's just as good as having no socks. And like I've had them all day I look down at my feet, my legs are not swollen around the sock area. I don't know what hands, they look like bowling socks or something, I don't know. They got that plaid pattern. I really don't care about the pattern. But they sure are comfortable, man. And that sounds pretty stupid to say that socks could be so important, but they sure can when you got arthritis and DVT and stuff. And so I bought some, and I'll have to get some winter socks because the cold's not good for arthritis. And I hate to buy socks and stuff for me before I buy the children their clothes that they're gonna need in America. And poor Paul needs to go to a dentist so bad. You know, but if I can't walk and I can't do my job, then I can't take care of them. So I feel like these socks are mission vital. I mean, my feet right now are pain-free. That's great, man. The circulation in these socks is fantastic. So I'd recommend the Endura. I don't know, I got, now these are the high ankle socks that go over your ankle because my hiking boots, bike shoes are, you know, you need to have bigger socks, taller socks, and whatever, longer socks. So I got some short socks coming in. My bike sure does feel smooth with these stronger rims. I'll tell you what, guys, I know I got the heavy ass tires. I didn't check my air pressure for a week, which you can't do on tubeless tires. I don't know how good these guys treated. I'm gonna have to check it out a little bit. But there's a lot of stuff I want to do reviews on, and like those walkie-talkies. I got these Midland walkie-talkies. You know, I only got 2 of them because they were so expensive, like 650 yen. So expensive. But they're so great, like Brendan Aarons and Bobby and me. We're a team, man. Bobby goes out and does errands. I need to communicate with them, and I don't have a cell. I don't have a SIM card for his phone. I haven't had time to go down and turn that on, and been trying to save money. So walkie-talkie is fantastic. And I noticed that for Solaris and Apollo, you know, they have nonverbal autism, and they have a hard time communicating. I really want to get them a walkie-talkie too, and because I think it helps develop their communication skills, and it's just like a tool to get them to speak more. So I don't know if I could raise enough money before I go to get an extra 2 walkie-talkies or not. I really don't think I can, but it'd be nice to do that for them. And got their laptops. So Paul is doing so good on his laptop. I've got about 200 XP learning games from like the 90s, and ISO's in a VirtualBox machine and inside of Linux. And Apollo's 5 years old, and he's got autism, so he's not like other 5-year-olds. But he knows how to start it up, and he's got kind of like the Rain Man autism going on. He loves doing all the educational programs by himself, and he loves his computer. I'm so happy I got him his laptop. And when I'm printing out for his homeschool last night, you know, it makes me so worried. We're gonna go to America and be homeless, and I feel like I'm not gonna be able to stop his I feel like stopping his school and take him away from his lessons to go to a child care center where people don't like him and they treat him like shit, like they're gonna do to all my kids. I told Bobby in the child care center, his #1 job is to look out after his brothers in that child care center, because the people there they're not going to give a fuck. I wish I had Qualitaco with me. I sure could use Qualitaco's help in this situation. I mean, I grew up with him, and him being in foster care, I know you don't understand in the West, but just like farmers did, and like they still do, I count on my oldest son and my children. I count on them as teammates, you know? So to go do this without Qualitaco was pretty rough. Bobby's gonna have to watch out for them in the daycare because they're autistic, and people are desperately poor in America, and they're just doing any job they can, and they hate everybody, and they hate migrants. So I don't want them to abuse my boys when they're in the daycare. So Bobby's gonna be watching, so I'm trying to make Bobby go out more with Solaris one-on-one, which I would never do before because I was too worried about Solaris being autistic. But I have to teach him to do that with Apollo. Give him more and more responsibility, so it's not a shock when we get there and we have to depend on each other. And yeah, I don't know. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be okay. I hope my wife's gonna be okay. She gets bipolar and depressive. Not so bad as before. She's doing so much better. But sometimes she says, "Oh, I want a divorce." Because lately, she's been having to take care of the kids much harder than she normally does. And she doesn't have the mental strength to take care of the kids completely without me. So it's been a lot of pressure on her these last weeks and months trying to get ready to go through this. And I have to tell myself, you know, not to be too hard on her, because I can't talk to her like I talk to myself or like another adult. She's just not, she's doing the best that she can, and so sometimes she's getting depressed and she's, "Oh yeah, I want to get a divorce before you go." And I said, "Really? You want to do that?" What did we go this many years for? But why did we go this far? And of course she doesn't really want to do that. She says it when she has depression or bipolar, and that's just in her nature. And of course she doesn't want to get, I mean, you have no idea the hard culture my wife came from, man. Nobody ever told her whole life. Her mom, or Chinese people don't tell each other, like, now I'm not saying all over China. Yeah, please don't misunderstand me. Within the country of China, it's like almost different classes are like different cultures themselves, and like people in the city might not ever experience. Like, I know more about the Chinese countryside than a lot of Chinese people. I don't have to say a lot, but then many Chinese people I know in the city, especially the younger generation that hasn't gone out to the countryside. There's just some kids and students that haven't seen that, you know? And they don't have the compassion to pick up a cat, or they'll never say I love you to their kids. They never give their mom a hug. That's just what it is, man. Like these guys chipping paint with the axe. The world that they live in is so hard. So it took me a long time in my relationship, multicultural relationship, to get used to those hard things and to see past the cultural conditioning, to see the person and the individual of what my wife is. I mean, underneath all that. So there, oh, I smell raw sewage here. It sucks, man. So there's times where when my wife says, oh yeah, get a divorce. And I often think to myself, oh yeah, that'd be great to have like a normal person that's got a heart, you know. This is sewage here. Damn it. Sick, makes me want to throw up. And that's why it's not good to wear bare feet on a rainy day, right? So I feel like, well, this video's gonna cut out for a minute. I mean, when she says divorce, I feel like, yeah, I mean, I sometimes, when I talk to American girls, I don't talk to American girls that much, but I sometimes feel like, oh wow, that's sexy. That, I mean, it's nice that you have a heart. I could have a conversation with you. Like, I could have a compassionate conversation. Now, I'm not saying I don't have compassionate conversation with my wife, and I'm not saying we don't have compassionate conversations, but as different as it is for you to picture how even, you might not believe me. You might even say, oh, well, Robert's crazy, that's his own opinion and shit. But if you're thinking that that's hard to believe, you know, it's as equal as strange as it is for you to believe that. It's also strange for me when I meet foreign women, like American women, and like even some the nicer class Chinese people. And that's what this is class system in China. It's not like I'm defining that or being racist. This is what exists in China, right? I find it nice. I find myself sometimes flirting and And it's not just compassion, it's like, my wife is not stupid, but she didn't receive the education that I have. And most of my education I never received till my schooling was complete, like Mark Twain said, right? But so then to talk with people that are intellectually have that ideas, it's good. But you know what? You could love somebody and see past those differences of compassion levels and I mean, what is IQ than knowledge experienced, I think. So she's unexperienced with some knowledge. It does provide a challenge. You know, I was young. If I went through this process again, would I have done the same thing now that I'm older and more mature? I talk to other people that talk to me like, oh yeah, I should go for a educated person. And my ex-German wife was a dentist, dental assistant. The opposite side, right? I don't know. I was really idealistic in my youth. I don't know, man. I can't guess this imaginary situation. I only know what the situation is now, and it's one I have to work harder. So I guess I'm gonna run out of time here, everybody. Thanks for riding with me. This normally cuts out about an hour and 24 minutes. If it's already not cut out, let's see what's up with this cat. Like I really needed another animal right now, right? I know the children are gonna be happy. The cat's got fleas and it's in my shirt. My shirt's gonna have fleas. My computer's gonna have bugs. Don't got that much money for food, for animal food. Say Shira, Shira. Whatever will be, will be. What a beautiful ride. Well, I guess I take my shirt out. I know I'm getting some sun right now. Better than like having a huge burn, right? Like, if I go out as white as I am right now, but I know some people say it's the best way to start is a sunburn. So I used to start. I'm abnormally white this season, this summer. So busy. On a steel horse I ride.